What's up, guys? How's it going? We're in the garage right now. Bad boss outside. I'm just charging the battery. You know what sucks the most now is since the Lexus smells like burnt tires, every single time I come in my garage, it just smells like burnt rubber. And I'm like, ah, man, I want to be at the drifts right now. And like, let's say I'm in the Lexus in the back in the trunk, plugging the battery or charging the battery like I am now. It just smells like burnt rubber, and I'm like, man, I really want to drift. So I'm doing a little cleanup of the garage right now. I got the 4G69 here, which I'm gonna take it apart actually. And then we have the 4G63 here. This is the old block out of my Evo 1 RS, white one. This is a Genesis transmission that's supposed to bolt up to 4G69, 4G63 Evo block.
Oh, hell no.
Then we have this right here. It's really windy and the door keeps smacking. I should actually really go close that. Yeah, this is a BMW 330i ZF transmission. You can tell really quick just by looking at the bolt pattern on the guibo and actually the size of the guibo. The guibo on a 330 is actually way bigger than a 325. The only reason why I have the 325i here is because Gab stole a bolt right here. Yeah, you can also tell on the transmission you have the ZF written right here. And these are actually very, very good and can hold quite a bit of power for the size. Just in comparison, that's a 330i transmission, BMW. The 325i transmission, about the same size actually, it's very close. And then you have a KA24 or SR trans. Look at the size difference. Even to the Genesis transmission, Genesis transmission looks pretty beast. But most of it is bell housing, right? This one too. I'm pretty sure I want to put a CD009 in this bad baby right here. So the R154 is going to be for sale, 100%. This is actually sold already. My buddy Jean-Sébastien Trudel, huh?
No more Volt! Shit.
He just bought this, really reasonable price actually. I sold it for half of what it's worth. I got it for way less than what I'm getting for it, so I'm happy with that. Thanks, GS. Reason is he just picked up an S14 with no engine, and this is the transmission he's gonna use. So you can try and guess what engine he's putting in. We didn't actually reveal it quite right away, but yeah, there's like a couple of engines that you can use with this transmission, so try and figure that out. Alright, so my plan right now is I have to go inside to change my battery, and then I'm coming out. I'm going to turn the block on the other side. I'm going to take the oil cover off, the oil pan off, the power steering pump off, water pump off, the oil filter housing off, and then I'm going to take the pistons and rods out. I'm probably going to take the crank out too, and then have just a bare block. Reason being is this is a 2.4 liter 4G69, okay? So the 4G69 is actually a 4G63 block, the same block and everything. It's a different oil pump cover, but you can actually put a 4G63 Evo oil pump cover on it and water pump and all the accessories and stuff to make it work in an Evo. So I have an Evo 4G63, so this is a 2.4 liter block. I've had this block for quite a while. It's definitely going to need to be machined and honed and all that good stuff. The reason I'm going to take this block apart is it actually has oversized pistons and rods, which I could probably sell. And the crank from this 7-bolt early gen 4G63 actually fits in this block. So I'll have a turbo crank. I think the crank in this one is actually, you can use it for turbo. I'm not too sure. But to have this block ready to go, all I will need is pistons and rods. And I'll probably put forged pistons and rods. A oil cover, water pump, a spare Evo oil pan, a Evo oil filter housing, which I actually have a spare one. The reason why you can't use this oil filter housing is it doesn't have the a thermostatic oil filter housing with the 2 bungs for the oil cooler that the Evo engines come with. So the oil in this engine actually stays a bit hotter. If I remember, I'm not sure. The pressure, something with the pressure, and anyways, not important. Yeah. So we're going to be building this block probably over the winter, since it's going to be super relatively cheap. And then if that one lets go, or if I want more power, boom. All I got to do is get an Evo head and call it a day. There's also a quick chance that I can take an early gen 4G63 head and put it on this. There's like a little modifications you got to do to the coolant ports, I believe. And if this tranny fits bolt onto that, then we'd have an Evo block to put in this little baby right here. So stay with me here for a second. 4G69 block, early 4G63 head. That would invert the intake and exhaust compared to what I have it on my Lexus right now, because Evo head, I have up there a 7-bolt 4G63 early gen intake manifold. I also have an Evo 5 manifold, which you can bolt on the wrong way. The only thing is the injectors won't be, will it be good? I'm not sure, because on the Evo they go directly into the intake, and on the early gen they go directly into the head. Whew. It's a lot of stuff to know. All right, so then I have a Evo 5 4G63 turbo that will bolt on and face the good way. So I have everything to make this run and turbo kit. The only thing I would need is a micro squirt and all that stuff to make it work basically exactly like my Lexus and do a standalone ECU. I'm thinking about it. If you guys want to support the build, hit the links down below. I'm not like that. But yeah, if you guys want to help, just definitely do that. I was just talking with Jacob the other day. I'm like, man, I have no idea what I'm going to do this winter. And yeah, that and pay off debts could be a reasonable thing to do. And CD009 swap on the Lexus, maybe? Actually, probably. The money that I'm getting from this tranny, and if I sell the R154, I'll get a pretty good amount for it. So that will pay at least the transmission, because they're 600 to, naturally you can get them for 500 bucks, like a CD008 or something, like an early gen. But Palmer is sponsored by a scrapyard, so we can get CD009s pretty cheap. My boy, my boy. Yeah, so CD009 transmission. I wanted to do a bell housing adapter because I work in a CNC shop and I could probably have done that. But I think I'm gonna contact my buddy Bill Hitchner. If you guys want to check out his website, Bill's AutoFab. He makes custom bell housing. He's the one who did the custom bell housing in the Lexus, the R154 to 4G63. So what I'm going to tell him that I really want to do is we're going to cut the bell housing off the CD009. We'll have a place to bolt the new bell housing on. And then he'll make it like he did this one, either internal slave, or this one here, the way he made it is he made a stock 2G Evo 123 clutch fork and ball, pivot ball, and with that the pressure plate works. The way I want to keep this super simple, so bell housing with the stock Evo clutch pedal and pivot ball, and using the stock flywheel and pressure plate, and just get a Nissan disc, which luckily enough I just did a swap on a KA. So I just did a swap on a KA, and I have this KA24 clutch disc, which okay, real quick, you can use a KA tranny in an SR with an SR. You just gotta change the bell housings. I think all Nissan use the same spline, if I'm not mistaken, because you can use a KA tranny with a SR bell housing, and your fifth will be longer, taller. It's the exact same ratios, same everything, except the fifth is taller. You can even use a KA to an RB. It'll bolt right up to an RB, but I think there's a little difference in the shaft plays, if I'm not mistaken. And like there's a couple little differences, but overall, I think it bolts up to the block, if I'm not mistaken. And when you're doing a CD009 to SR bell housing adapter, you shave 6 millimeters off the bell housing, and you don't even change your clutch. I know that Palmer didn't have to change his clutch. He did the bell housing adapter with the adapter plate and not like what I want to do. And he didn't even have to change his clutch on his RB. So, and I know he's previously ran a KA tranny in his RB25, as the RB25 trannies are actually pretty hard to find. And with the CD009 tranny, it's actually way tougher. So I'm gonna keep that clutch disc. It actually looks like it'll fit inside a stock flywheel. I have to measure it out, but the one I have now is a 8-inch disc or a 9-inch disc. I'd have to measure it again or check what Bill said in his emails. But yeah, moving on. Let's get this block apart, but first I gotta change batteries. So it doesn't seem to be working very good. First of all, the bolt hole, if you put it up here, this one doesn't line up. The crank is actually offset, so maybe the guy who did this re-drilled the hole here and this one, or used this hole, I don't know. And then on this side, this hole doesn't line up, and the crank actually needs to go, the input shaft actually needs to go down a bit. This hole is offset again, like it would need to go up. I don't know. I don't think this works. So I'm gonna have to check. Maybe this is not a 2-liter 5-speed. Maybe it's a V6 transmission that I have here. I don't know. I'll have to check. Definitely doesn't work though. Would have been cool though. Cheap free transmission. Oh well. It's that time of the year. Start the tear down. The tranny's already for sale, so I kind of want to get it out of the car with the engine. Get the engine on the engine stand and maybe doing a little upgrades to it this winter. I already took off one of the over fenders. As you can see, the fender was cut right here. She's kind of dented in a bit. Man, that's one heck of a job. That's like, there's no way that's breaking. I'll probably be making better mounts since those taillight mounts are pretty flimsy. And that's what holds the over fender. You can tell that this has been pushed in a bit right here. A little kink there. Now I'm just going to do the other side. Where have you been, Sean? Well, I've been working a lot. Basically, my boss said, if you want to work, come in, do a time and a half or whatever. So that's what I've been doing. Whoop-de-doo. Making some money. Now, my truck's been having a little bit of issues with the starter. My mom's oatmeal raisin cookies. Good shit. So the key wouldn't work all the time. Sometimes I'd be stranded and I'd have to go underneath the car with a wire and jump the starter. So last time this happened, I said, you know what, fuck it. I went under the car, I passed a wire all the way to my battery and I spliced it into my starter. So I would be able to know if it's my starter having the problem or between the key and the starter. So it turns out it's between the key and the starter. Huh. So if I want to start my car, I have this little wire here and I made myself a little key. This is Jacob would be super proud right now. This is Gen 1. So you just plug it in here, touch the positive, the starter activates. You gotta have your key on, of course, and then the starter starts the car. But I've been having a lot of problems in the cold, or just these past few days, where the car doesn't want to start right away, and I just keep cranking it and cranking it. And I've noticed if I go in the car, turn the key, it doesn't do anything anymore. Press on the gas a couple times, then come do that, truck starts. So yeah, I don't know. I just put 20 bucks of premium in it, so maybe that'll help. It definitely helped tonight. What I do is I'm gonna put a push start in this baby because I don't feel like finding what key, what wire in the key. I mean, it's not really a hard thing to do, but I already got my wire pass, so I'll just run two wires to the inside of the car. I stole the push button from the Lexus since the Lexus is being rebuilt anyways, and I'll get a nice new push start for it, maybe with something that says push start. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this cookie and then I'm gonna roll some wire up and then we'll do this. Let's go. I don't know if you guys can hear the wolves. That was a good one. Oh boy. Moment of truth. Push start from inside the car. All right. Get. But that works. Push start. Yeah. Whew. Man, I love that truck so much. I mean, they don't really make that many Mitsubishi trucks, but that one's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. 3.8 liter V6 limited. It's automatic, but whatever. I actually, when I was underneath the dash passing the wires through the firewall, I noticed that there was the 3 holes that you can drill out and you can put a clutch pedal. Yeah, reason why I was thinking about that is I don't know how long that transmission's gonna last. I don't know how long that engine's gonna last. I just did the timing belt on that engine, but I don't know. I don't really trust that engine. It's really due for an oil change too, so I might do that before Saturday. because me and Pizarski were supposed to be doing a little road trip to pick up a car, which we can't really reveal right away because he wants to film. Okay, Pizarski wants to go pick up the car, film the whole series, and then we release it. So it's a bit like what Mighty Car Mods does. They film almost of the series, or they towards the end, and then they film, and then they release it. The reason why he wants to do that is he doesn't know how long it's going to take to build that car. It's pretty rough, not gonna lie, but he wants it. I mean, in his heart, it's like part of him. So that's what I'm gonna end this video. I got nothing really more to say, but good night, because I'm going to bed. I've been doing 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. shifts. Since Monday, I worked last Saturday a 10-hour shift. Tomorrow I'm starting at 6 to 7. And then on Friday, I'm probably doing 5 to 2. So I'm making like a shit ton of overtime money. And that's going to be like, yeah. Because I still have a bill with KMP that I got to pay off. I got a lot of people interested in the R154 transmission. A bunch of people interested in the bell housing. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I'm not going to be like crying about it. But yeah. Definitely going to try and put as much money aside as I can so I can fix my girlfriend's Z46. The purple one I'm talking about. The blue one actually might be sold. Maybe. There's a bit of work to do on it. I'll probably do the oil pan, maybe a couple of little things here and there just to help the new owner out. But yeah, they want a project car, so that car needs a little bit of help, a little bit of maintenance. Who knows, maybe a swap for them if they want. But yeah, I'm like super tired. I don't know if it shows. Yeah, other than that, nothing really much to say. Jacob picked up a new car today. Pretty stoked on it. We were doing the Quagmire giddy goo. That was so bad. That was a bad impersonation. Alright, well, that's where I'm gonna leave it tonight. I'm sorry I missed a week. I mean, the videos aren't gonna be regular. Don't worry about it. It's not like I'm making that much money off YouTube. I wish I was making that YouTube money. I wish I was making that dollar bills off YouTube, but I'm not, so I'm not really worried about it. Well, I mean, I'm making some, but I mean, it's like, it's nothing to cry home about. Actually, it's nothing to write home about. Man, I'm really tired. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. If you want to see other videos, definitely hit that bell notification down below. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out and stay bossy. Yeah, it's not sticking. It's definitely not sticking. Peace.